Well, he's back. Sort of. Maybe. Nyck de Vries could be stepping back into a Formula 1 car as early as the Mexican Grand Prix, despite being axed by AlphaTauri rather unceremoniously this season. Rumours this week have been flying around as we get the return to action on track coming up with the Dutch Grand Prix, and one of those that has people murmuring is the return of the neglected Dutchman to the Formula 1 paddock, Nyck de Vries, with both Red Bull and his former team AlphaTauri considering putting de Vries behind the wheel as their third driver when Formula 1 heads to Mexico in October. The 28-year-old was understandably quite upset after being ditched 2 races prior to the summer hiatus, taking to social media to proclaim that it hurt to have his dream so prematurely taken away from him. But it seems that Red Bull would be happy to bring him back into the fold once de Vries has had his time to reassess the situation, with the possibility of seeing him either with his former team or the big daddy of AlphaTauri, Red Bull Racing, for the trip south of the border. It would be a little surprising to see de Vries back in the blue and white of AlphaTauri, but it's good to see that the Dutchman is gone but not forgotten by the grander Red Bull Racing team. A quick bit of news from Ferrari before the Dutch Grand Prix weekend, as the Scuderia announced this week that Robert Shwartzman will replace Carlos Sainz for the first free practice session at Zandvoort this weekend. 2 practice sessions must be driven by Formula 1 rookies each season for each team, as F1 looks to get young talent behind the wheel, with a rookie considered as a driver who has not competed in more than 2 Grand Prix, with Shwartzman getting to take the reins of Carlos Sainz's car for the first session in the Netherlands. Robert will do Zandvoort in Carlos's car, and he will do another one, probably Abu Dhabi, in Charles's car, said Fred Vasseur. I gave them, the drivers, the choice of where they wanted to do it because I know that it's not an easy situation. Carlos was very direct. We'll see how happy Ferrari's Spanish driver is about losing a practice session at Zandvoort when we get to the weekend. And finally, having an all-French driver lineup at Alpine was cooed over before the start of the 2023 season, but it seems that communication can still be a problem even when everyone is speaking the same language. That is, at least according to Pierre Gasly, who has noted a lack of clear communication on occasion this season with his new team. Gasly made the switch to create the all blue, white and red lineup at the French constructor that exceeded expectations, of course, a year ago, but the Dream Team lineup for 2023 has failed to materialise the results expected of them, with McLaren and Aston Martin usurping Alpine as the teams most likely to compete with the big guns at the front of the grid. For Gasly, communication has sometimes been an issue during the first half of this season. You need clarity in communicating with the team, said the French driver. Sometimes we still talk past each other about what I want from the car and what they are able to give me. I had no input into this car. Some things I wish for are not possible with the existing package. Nevertheless, I hope that the car will suit me better at the end of the year. Optimism then for Gasly, who I'm sure is still thinking the move to Alpine was the right one when compared to how his former team AlphaTauri have been going this season. Things could always be worse. Remember all of the latest news at GPFans.com and on social media GPFans Global, and hit subscribe down below to stick with us with the news and our specials here at the YouTube channel.